What up? What up? Okay, so some of you know about my bad day, horrific day, that started when I went into class second period. I had a meeting first period, and I couldn't figure out why my shoes were squeaking so much. So I don't know what happened, but my floor was all sticky. So I attempted in third period to clean it, and Chuck Miller made a video, so we'll watch that real quick. So yeah, that was my third period. It was a complete disaster. I must have wasted two things of wipes trying to clean the floor. And when I got home today, I'm like, oh, where's my Swifter? I'm gonna have to bring that in tomorrow. Best part of that video has to be Aiden. Aiden gone, just laughing it up in the background while I'm trying to clean the floor so my shoes don't squeak. I've taught for 15 years, and I can't say that I've ever had something like that happen. But anyways, now to more exciting stuff, finishing up on third parties. So why can't the United States become a multi-party system? Why can't third parties or minor parties get any traction and get any votes? Well, there are a lot of obstacles for third parties. Obviously, we have a two-party tradition, especially over the last 100 or so years, between the Democrats and the Republicans. And people would be less inclined to join a minor party knowing that they're probably going to be maybe wasting their votes because minor parties don't win. What you need to understand is that the people who make the laws, and please pay attention to this very closely, people who make the laws, ballot access laws, meaning what you have to do to get on a ballot in every state, getting money for running a campaign, getting into the debates. Who determines all that? The two major parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. So they are not going to make it easier for a minor or third party to run for office, because it's far easier to beat one person than to beat 5 or 6 people. So the Republicans and Democrats will keep in place laws that make it very difficult for a minor or third party to be able to run, to be able to get on the ballot, to be able to get into a debate. And that ensures that you're only facing one other person who legitimately can beat you for a position. So this two-party tradition, their ability to set rules and regulations and laws that determine whether or not someone is going to have a legitimate shot to run for office, again, they're not going to make it easier for a minor party. And so the two-party tradition has remained. And I would argue that it's going to continue. I've had discussions with colleagues where they have, questioned whether that will change. I don't think it's going to. Single-member winner-take-all districts for congressional seats. That's a lot of stuff right there for you to listen to. But just understand that there's one person for every congressional district that wins and gets a position in the House of Representatives. So individuals are less likely to vote for a minor party candidate, knowing that they're probably not going to win. So you're going to pick, some would say, the lesser of two evils, Republican or Democrat. In some countries, they have multi-member districts where you might have 2 members representing a district. So if you're a Democrat, maybe you split and vote for a minor party. So single member means one person. Winner take all means a person with the most votes wins a congressional seat, which makes it difficult to convince people to vote for a minor party candidate. The Electoral College winner take all system. Again, the Electoral College will spend a day on an entire 10-minute screencast on, but you must win the most votes in every state to get the electoral votes. It's not proportional, meaning you can't get a few electoral votes. In 48 out of 50 states, it's you must win the most votes in that state, whether it's winning by one vote or 100,000 votes, you get all of those electoral college representatives. And again, don't get too carried away with the electoral college yet. We'll get into that later. But H. Ross Perot ran in 1992 against Papa Bush and Bill Clinton. He got 19% of the vote. 19%. 1 out of every 5 Americans voted for him. Yet he got 0 electoral college votes, meaning every state went to either Bill Clinton or George Herbert Walker Bush. And so Perot, even though he got millions and millions of votes, got 0 electoral college votes. So the setup of the electoral college, which is in the Constitution, makes it very difficult for a minor party candidate or a third party candidate in presidential elections to win. Ballot access, the idea of getting on the ballot, it's very difficult because minor parties typically do not have a very good, I would say, structure in every state. Every state is different, 10th Amendment, in regards to how you get on the ballot. Money, we talked about PACs and super PACs. They're not going to spend their money on candidates who are not going to win. They're just not going to do it. So they have a very difficult disadvantage in regards to getting money. Media coverage, have you seen one thing about a minor party candidate in this primary cycle? Nothing. Media doesn't cover losers. Unfortunately, third party and minor parties don't win elections. And again, the two major parties typically determine the rules for who gets to participate in a debate, and they don't want to include minor party candidates. So these obstacles make it nearly impossible, at least from a presidential standpoint, for minor or third parties to win. Party weaknesses. Again, this is kind of a review, so we'll go through this relatively quickly. But parties have weakened over the last 40, 50 years. Again, you don't have to be a member, a paying member of a party. In some states you register, in other states you don't even have to register. But again, you have a decrease in the amount of individuals who consider themselves a member of the party, and an increase over the last 40 or 50 years in independents, individuals who do not want to claim that they are Democrats or Republicans and primarily base their vote on the candidate. And if it's a Democrat or Republican, they may change from election to election. Again, a lot of this is review. Nominating candidates, again, now the people select the candidates for each party and not the party elite, which makes it less necessary to be a member of the party to affect who is going to run for a particular party's presidential nomination. Patronage, we talked about that in the last screencast. Again, the idea that major party leaders can't promise you a job in the federal government as much anymore as they used to, because jobs are filled based on merit or qualifications, and oftentimes a civil service examination. Parties are decentralized, meaning political parties, you have a national party, and then you have state parties, and then you have county parties in many cases, and they're very different. I guarantee you the Iowa Republican State Committee is much different than the California Republican State Committee. And the same thing can be said for the Democrats. So it's so diffused, and the issues that the parties care about is diffused throughout the United States, that it weakens the party. Because again, and I use the Republicans, and I apologize for that, but they're a little more splintered, if you will, and have different policy objectives. And if you go to the state Republican Party in Texas, they're going to be far different in regards to their views than the state Republican Party of New York, which kind of weakens the parties because they're not unified in regards to what's the most significant issue that they care about. I will see you tomorrow. Glad these are done. Back to my full speech of Donald Trump. Peace.